Yellow? There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Good morning. Now that we've got those technical difficulties out of the way. I don't know what was up there. 1 minute OBS was reading my mic and the next it wasn't. Hope you all are having a great Saturday. We're starting early today because we missed part of Tuesday and, well, I think we're going to be missing this upcoming Tuesday too. But we'll see. Let me put that back up just a teensy tiny bit. Okay. You can see here behind me, I've been busy this week. I've been really busy this week. Let me just show you a little bit of what I've been up to. On last Saturday when we left off, I had finished our iron farm. I had made the sugarcane farm. I had a makeshift bamboo farm going. The bamboo farm has gotten an upgrade, guys. The bamboo farm's gotten a major upgrade. And we have most of our villager trading up and running. I've got the majority of my books. Not all. There's a couple more we could stand to have, but it's okay. In this next unit over here, we have all of our smiths. So we've got all of our, I think these, yeah, our armor smiths over here. All of our tool smiths, and then all of our weapon smiths. These have some less than stellar starting enchants on the diamond tools, but honestly, it's fine because our librarians have a pretty good selection. And we've got some okay things on these guys. And then over here in this last cubicle, we have some clerics for lapis and redstone and experience, and then all stonemasons. And the reason why I have all these stonemasons is for this quartz. So we keep talking about that city that we're going to be building, and when I look at that city that we're going to be building, the description of part of it is that the main road going up to the palace is white cobble. So quartz will be nice for that. Here's our bamboo farm. Show it in action real fast. I just click this, and then I unclick it. And it just goes. The minecarts will stop, fully unload, and then eventually start going again. Our sugarcane farm has been upgraded to 3 tiers. Here is our iron farm. I have the villager breeder part turned off right now because we have more than enough extra villagers. We are overflowing on villagers right now. It's easy enough for me to get back up there and turn it back on when I need more. Let's go ahead and sleep. Go back to the other side real fast. And here you can see I've gone ahead and I've added an item sorter. So one side goes for iron, one side goes for poppies. And then if we come back out here, we've got this side to auto-craft into bone blocks, and then we've got this side to auto-craft into blocks of iron. The same thing for these two sections up here. This one is blocks of bamboo, and currently all the sugarcane is being converted into paper. And then last but not least, we have a small auto smelter over here. I've got all my cauldrons set up here. This side feeds in the fuel down at the bottom. This side feeds in all of the ore that we need to smelt. And you can see it's running pretty good. There's more stuff that I want to do here. I still need to get a honey farm up and running. I still want to get a mud farm up and running. What else? I need to get a tree farm, but I've decided instead of doing a manual tree farm, I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and build up a TNT duper based tree farm, and that's going to require tutorials and me messing up a lot, so we're probably not going to do that on a live stream. I'll probably get that done off live stream just because lots of redstone. This gives me access to our villagers up here. So you can see the breeder's completely shut off right now. And we have a golem that's stuck. That's fine. He'll get unstuck eventually. I discovered what the issue was with this. I've never done an iron farm / villager breeder in one like this before, so I didn't realize that villagers will not breed if they're scared. So in order to, let's go back up real fast. In order to get them to breed consistently, we have to basically make it so that they have an area where they can't see the zombie. And so when they go down to that middle one, they'll just start socializing and eventually breed. But we don't need that right now. Uh-oh. Oh. Alright. Let me go get my sleeping bag back. And then, yeah, you can see that we've got excess carrots that end up down here. So that's everything here at the industrial district that's changed since last week. I did manage to find a fortress with nether wart, but it's quite a distance away, so we're never going back to that fortress. There's no need. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I don't know why I did that, but I didn't mean to. Oh, and then under here, here is all of my networking for the bamboo and sugarcane farms to go to their auto crafters. Never used auto crafters before. That was fun to figure out how to set up. You've got a dropper elevator, and then it pops up over here to the auto crafter on this side. And then same thing over here. Dropper elevator, auto crafter. Lots of new redstone stuff learned. I don't have an auto crafter hooked up to the smelter just because I don't necessarily know what all will end up running through here. I have a feeling we're going to mostly be using this for sand, for glass, but we also may end up using it a lot for copper. No need really to mine iron at this point. Alright. On top of that, we have a new mod on the world. And I'm hoping that this mod is only temporary. I've got about 5 or 6 of my primary mods that have still not updated to 21.7 yet. Horse. And I decided, I know I had said a couple of weeks ago, no real interest in the Happy Ghast update, but then I decided I kind of wanted it because baby ghasts are adorable. So I added a mod that ports the Happy Gas back to 21.5. I'm hopeful, but would completely understand if once we do update, the guests that we do have do not port over. If they do, that'd be great. If they don't, oh well. But we're headed over here right now to our mob farm. Ah, I got started. Okay. I'm just going to show you the mob farm real fast. It's a generic mob farm. It's not a specialized mob farm. Y'all have honestly probably seen this setup multiple times. That did not burn our horse to death. There we are. You can see here we have a guest. And this is the main thing that I wanted a happy guest for. I've got it set up to sort the primary items here. We've got a miscellaneous folder for junk. I had scaffolding going up for the longest time, but then I was able to get a guest. I've got a little mechanism to lock her in place so she doesn't float up out of reach. And just take our gas elevator up. I think this works just a little bit faster than scaffolding. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty certain it's faster. I didn't actually test it. See if I can do this without killing myself. There we go. And then I'll lock a mechanism to lock her in place so that she doesn't travel down out of reach. I'll just do an F4 up here. You can see standard setup. I have it as a 2-layer setup. So 2 spawning platforms for mobs. I tried going up to 3. They stopped moving after the second one, so 3 is not possible. Cobweb to slow them down so that they don't die from fall damage, and they just land here. I kill them. I get a little bit of XP. While we're here, let's repair our axe real fast. The loot all travels down this hopper elevator, which I'm sure there's a much more efficient way to do this. Spits out, auto sorts, and we're good to go. Like I said, been busy. I wanted to be on Tuesday, but I ordered a new chair actually the week before last. It was supposed to arrive earlier. It was supposed to arrive over the weekend, and it got delayed to Tuesday. So I needed to be available to take that and put together my chair, which took entirely too long. We'll just get this going real fast so we can get the axe repaired. And then we'll head back. Come on. And I'll show you the last thing that we've been working on over the last week. I actually need to go back to the industrial district anyways. Because, hi Pringle, I'm doing good, how are you? need to go back to our little industrial area because I've got a ton of end pearls over there and all of my blaze rod powder stuff. That's good to hear. Glad you're having a good day. Almost done here. Really, let's just go ahead and sleep real fast. It's definitely not the fastest way to get XP, I will say that. Good enough. Unlock the ghast, hop on the ghast, and down we go. Obviously, once we get an elytra, this little elevator isn't really necessary, but I'm happy with it. Let's head back over to our little industrial platform real fast. We're gonna go find a dragon today. Oh, before we go find a dragon today. Actually, no, we've got arrows at home. We're fine. We're gonna go find our dragon. We're gonna go kill our dragon, and then we're gonna hop over to our creative world and start city planning. Actually, we may work on planning a storage unit first. I still don't have a storage unit. And I still don't have a barn for that matter. Nope. There we go. Let's drop off our horse here. Oh, come back. Hey, come back. Thank you. Just want to make us some... Let's roll fast. Got you. Oh, that one. Actually, I already made quite a few. I just want to make some more just to be on the safe side. 29 should be more than enough. If it's not, then I don't know what I'm doing. And honestly, I don't know what I'm doing, so. Drop that back off. Oh, I meant to drop off all of those seeds for our bone meal. Enough. Which one is oak? This one's oak. Grab that back off here. I'm gonna take a bed with us. I'm gonna take one of my ender chests with us. Go ahead and head on back home real fast, reset spawn over there, and then we're gonna go find ourselves the fortress. Yellow horse. And you can see the other insanity that I've been up to this week. We've been busy. Busy week. So we've got the adult ghast over at our mob farm, which is all the way over there. And then we've got a baby ghast here. That was the only reason why I wanted to get the ghast anyways, is the babies are so cute. Let's spawn here. I need just a couple of more things before we go. I want to take a pumpkin with us, because I really don't want to have to worry about Enderman. Oops. I'm gonna drop that off. Go ahead and drop the bed off too for when we get there. Why are there seeds in this one? They're supposed to be up here. Okay. And then last but not least, we need some pillaring material. I am basically completely out of dirt. That's all the dirt that I have left. Should be enough. Let's take a boat just in case we need it. Oh, and a bow. That really means we need to go back to the industrial district. So we'll be leaving from there. I need to enchant the bow real fast. That should be it. Yeah. Ah. I named her Marshmallow. She looks like a giant marshmallow. And she is very, very clingy. Which is why she's currently leashed. Because I was... So here's the other thing that I've done for the week. We come over here. You can't see it completely because the chunks aren't loaded in. But all the way out to where the green here changes. So this is plains. This is flower forest. All of that got chopped down over the week. Let's sleep real fast while we sleep. And then I'll show you on the map. It's easier to see on the map. So here we go. All of this has been chopped down. And then here you can see I've slowly started the process of leveling and terraforming this area out. Okay. Let's head back over to our industrial area to enchant our bow and then go kill a dragon. That's the second time that I've tried going through there today. It doesn't work. Alright. We're just gonna leave from here. I'm gonna leave him right there. Where did I leave the boat last time? I need a dock. Some emeralds. Infinity. I just need to favorite this page. I've been using it all the time. One bow. Yeah, flame, infinity. I think I've got a power book. Breaking and punch. I don't think I have a punch book. Let's take a look. Let's see if we've got a punch book. Nope. Piercing. Multi-shot. What does piercing go on? Not bows. Oh, this was fun. This is my fortune villager. And then his other enchantments are Curse of Vanishing and Curse of Binding. And a random modded one that I don't know what it does. Knockback. Multi-shot. I don't think I have punch. I have 2 infinities though. Oh, I do have punch. Ooh, that's expensive. Oh well. No, I don't have power. I have sharpness. Okay. I don't have any level of power. So like I said, still have a couple of enchantments that I need to get my hands on. That's okay though. Let's get the Unbreaking for it too. And flame. Alright. According to this website, we do Infinity first. Then combine Unbreaking with Flame. Like that. Like that. Least amount of levels spent. And it was still 20 levels. So. Alrighty. Drop off our books. Just gonna put this random egg that we've picked up here. Which way are we going? Going off in that direction. Alright. Alrighty. I'm going to assume that I need to get to this island. Hoping it's not out in the middle of the ocean. Let's grab that so that we don't lose it. I really wish that we could just like get a map for these instead of this chase pearl mechanic. Yeah. We don't have to go far. I did not see where that one went. Nope, that's the bee. Must have broken. I am not seeing where they're going. Oh, is it just literally going right there? Yeah. Okay. That's where we're going. I'm gonna move just another block out. Oh, I did this last time, didn't I? Or I forgot to bring ladders. It's okay. We can resolve this issue very quickly. Yep. I don't know if these mods that I use make strongholds a more frequent thing, or if we've just gotten lucky both times. I know sometimes people end up going thousands of blocks to find a stronghold, and we've found both last season and this season. We have found it within a few minutes. I'm gonna go with luck. Do I have any ladders left? No. Fine. I have some sticks left. Use spruce. Hopefully that's enough. And hopefully we don't have to go all the way to freaking almost bedrock to find this one like we did last time. I didn't bring torches. Oh well. We'll be fine. I don't have any coal anyways. Yep. Oh, I guess ladders require using. Let's try to get this right this time. Interesting. Yeah. I'm almost afraid to go down there. I don't trust gravel. Nope, it's just a random patch of gravel. Alright. What level are we at? We're at 21. I don't think I brought enough ladders. At least I know where to go if I want diorite. I don't know that I'm going to want diorite. And now we're at sleep. Okay, before we go any further, did we pass it? We have not passed it. Intended. Okay. you. Another cave. Okay. It's close to blue lichen. Alright. Turn up that gamma for you guys. Gotta love gravel. Same thing as last time. Have we passed it? Not appear so. Oops. That was close. We are gonna have to go back home, I think. No, we're not. There it is, guys. Got it. Oh! I will accept that. Let's get rid of these freaking silverfish now. Awesome. Alright. Well, glad I made all those pearls. Alright. Put that back. I'm gonna move this over here. Alright. We got our bed. Oh, it's nighttime. Put all of this stuff up. Gonna leave all of that here. Need my helmet here. Need one arrow. Oh, I need a water bucket too, don't I? Just to be on the safe side. You know what? Let's YOLO this. Let's YOLO this with our girls. Ready. Where did that end up breaking? Probably over there. That's fine. I don't care. All right. Okay. How far away are we? Oh, we're quite a distance away. Oh, okay. Nope. Let's, there. Alright. We're going to focus immediately on the crystals. Nope. Okay. Down we go. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, right through that breath. Oh, it's over there. This one next. Go. Ooh. That's fine. You have a helmet on. Yeah, I've got the pumpkin on. Here to this one next. This is a absurdly tall one. Saw him. I saw him. Down we go. E. You're feeling spicy today, dragon. You're hooked on that one right now. Oh. The Endermen are mad at the dragon. Oh, okay. You know what? That's fine by me. I'm gonna come over here for a few minutes. Where is he? He's over there. Alright, that's one less that we have to deal with. Okay. Got. Why are these all so tall? Where'd he go? I see him. Ooh, hi. Ooh, that hurt him. Okay. He mad. He's a mad dragon. Hi, friend. Yep, you're on that one now. Move away from that one. Got that one. Okay, let's go back to this one. See if we can't shoot this from down here. Yes. These two left. That makes life interesting, doesn't it? There we go. No more crystals. At least I don't think any more crystals. I think we're done. Now we just have the dragon himself. Herself. Technically. Alright, yeah, there she is. This is why I have an infinity bow, guys. I can't shoot. Saved my life. You coming back? Yeah, you're coming back. I think you're coming back. Come on. Yep. Yeah. Alright, one more round. Oh. Come on, guy. I can't shoot to save my life, can I? I'll just wait for him to land again. Hi. Alrighty. Oof. That's all the XP. Fine by me. Alright. Let me get one of these torches real fast. And then where did the egg go? Here it is. Guys, that went really well. One egg. Alright. We have killed the dragon again. Ah, that's where it went. So, I'm just gonna leave this all here. Our boat is upstairs. Ah, thought I heard rain. Also looks like it might be nighttime. Easy peasy. Now we can go to our creative world and do some creative planning. Probably not going to be on Tuesday, Pringles. Unfortunately. I have a doctor's appointment. But if I can make it, I will see you then. Give me a second, guys, while I go ahead and get our world swapped over. Give me one more second. Okay, here we go. So we've been in here before. I showed you guys I had worked on quite a bit of terraforming and like leveling out here, and then of this hill slash mountain over here. I've gone ahead and restored all these chunks because I've been rereading the book and realized that what I was doing over here for where the palace is gonna be needed a bit of rework. It's still, this area is still gonna work, but I've had to change a few things, or I want to change a few things from what we originally had. And I figured instead of doing all of the terraforming all at once, we could just go ahead and start working on it little bits and pieces at a time. Give me one second here. I need to pull up my browser. I want to show you guys something real fast. Now, I've kind of hinted at it a few times before that the way that we're going to be laying this out is not going to be 100% lore accurate to the story. Just because it doesn't really work out with the terrain that we have here. Give me one second, guys. Is that the best one? I think that's the best one. new tab. I really wish I had a larger version of this. You guys get to see me messing with OBS a little bit here. Ooh, why is this not working? X. Closer? I'm gonna move this back down here. Really wish I could, like, tell it what to display. And it's not working. Okay. I'm gonna do this the old-fashioned way. Let's go back. And I'll have to get that reset up. I had it set up for the longest time, and then I got a new monitor, and now it doesn't work. Alright. Here we go. So, you look at this map here. It gives a basic layout of what goes where. We're not going to be able to follow it completely. In part because, so we see this river here, the river Oleron, and it says north of the river we've got 2 districts, Prettybone and Highfields, and then south of the district south of the river we've got all the other districts. Dolores City, Upmarket, Unicorn, Flash, a few others. And at the bottom of this image, it shows that the Temple District and the Palace District are south of this area. Which is fine. The problem is that when we go and we look at our map here, the area that I want to do for the palace, which is this mountain hill right here, is actually north of the river, and everything south of the river is kind of flat. I have contemplated more than once putting the palace down here instead. The reason why I'm not doing that is because this area down here transitions very quickly to Savannah. And this book, the city in this book is almost set in a British / Northern French type of environment. So the city, which, looking at this here, I'm thinking is going to be at least this big. Maybe a little bit bigger. Gets a true winter. And putting the palace down by the savannah down here by the Mediterranean and savannah and everything, I think that's just gonna get... There's a structure there. That's gonna get too warm. And we risk having areas of the palace just kind of not match. So we're going to basically draw the line of the city ending here. Now, the reason I stopped doing this forest through here is because I don't know how far this way I want to take it. And I don't know how far down this way I want to take it. I do know that I want the palace to be up here, though. Today we're going to focus on... I can bring this back up for a second. We're going to focus on the 3 rivers there. North Bridge, Market Bridge, and King's Bridge. Those are the 3 bridges that... There's more bridges than that. King's Bridge in particular is what I want to focus on. I want us to try to get the layout for that. Now, King's Bridge is the one in the book that is described as having the white cobblestone King's Road itself. King's Road also runs to the palace. So if we start the bridge, say here, we go across, and then we need to turn the road up this way. Or, oops. Let me turn that back off. What I was saying is we could start King's Bridge here, take it across, and then just curve the road up this way towards the hill where the palace is going to be. The hill itself, I'm thinking, is going to come to about here. It gives us plenty of room to overlook. I might make it a little bit lower, and actually what I'm thinking about doing is the start of it be lower, like say about here. And then, let's say if this ends up being where the palace is, slowly tapering up to this, because the way that it's described in the book is this area is kind of an upward sloping hill. I had showed you guys a few weeks ago the start of a wall that I had been working on, just trying to get an idea. And then when I reread, or when I've been rereading the books recently, in the most modern one, the wall goes from being an all-encompassing circle, like basically all around this hill, to it's a half circle. So it'd go like here around the hill to here, and the backside has been taken down due to, quote, expansions. And the forest itself, this being the King's Forest or the Royal Forest, whichever one it is, comes all the way back here. So I'm thinking what we ultimately have to do is wherever we have this hill end needs to be some sort of cliff face down. to act as a natural security. But because I mean, personally, I don't think even expansion-wise, I don't think they would have gotten rid of the back half of the wall and left the entire palace grounds exposed to easy entry from that area. So I think there's got to be at least some sort of cliff face there. My other idea for the King's Bridge is so it goes, what is it? It goes North Bridge, Market Bridge, King's Bridge. King's Bridge is the furthest east, which is why I was looking at doing it down here, and then the other bridges that way. Let's move it to where it's in the middle and do King's Bridge here so that it's closer to where the Palace District is going to be and it's less of a sharp curve up this way. And I'm kind of thinking maybe that's what I want to do. I'm kind of thinking maybe I want to do it here instead. There's a wandering trader over there because I'd been playing with the forest over that way. The other thing that we're going to have to do is figure out what color palette we want for this bridge. So we've got the block of quartz thanks to our masons. If we come over here, I love this part of Axiom. It gives me this color picker so we can see far more easily things that work. Obviously, we're not going to use a snow block. It is the widest of all the white blocks, but no. You've got the smooth white sandstone, which works pretty well with the cobblestone, or the quartz. We've got yellow oak. Which matches the quartz pretty well. Those three honestly work pretty well together. And the nice thing is, so if we come over here, quartz again. Our chiseled mod gives us variety on the quartz. It won't give us variety on the that usable variety on the pale oak, and it won't give us variety on the white sandstone. But it will give us variety on the quartz. Actually, that kind of looks like cobblestone to me. When was that? Cracked quartz bricks. What is the cracked quartz bricks? Less of a fan of that one. It looks a little too weird. But we've also got some that get decorative. And we've got that. Could be like an interesting border. We've got that. We've got a variety of quartz options here. Honestly, I kind of like the way those work together. But it is described as a cobbled white stone. I feel like we definitely need to use at least this one. Might not use the pale oak. Let's not use the pale oak. And actually, I like the way the smooth white sandstone and this chiseled quartz block kind of blend together in terms of color. Also, like that. Got smooth quartz as well, which works better than the actual quartz block. Let's go ahead and focus on using the cracked quartz block for now. I'm gonna go ahead and kill this. Then we're gonna use Axiom. Absolutely love Axiom. Flat. One a depth of 1. Quite large. A nice thing with this, I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up. That's not directly on. We actually don't need to have a depth at all. Let's do that one. The one that works like that. Okay. I'm gonna bring that there, and then I'm gonna bring that here. Why are you doing that? Oh, I see what's going on. Only need the 2. We need it to be inverted, and we definitely don't need that much slack. Like, maybe that much. Go ahead and bring that up. You at 70. You at 70. That way it's not on the ground and we can move it. Let's adjust the slack down a little bit more. And if I do this for my own sanity. See the level of arch that has. Actually, I think that 2% is a good level of arch. And the other bridges might not be arched, honestly. But since this is like the primary big one, I feel like it should be. I also feel like it should be a little bit wider. Now it's completely straight. That's actually on the ground. That's okay. I'm gonna do this out of wool for now. then bring it this way. Actually, just go ahead and get it placed immediately. Without playing with rotation later on. One block to the left, and that'll do. Oh, one block left of right. That? Or the other way? I like that. I'm not used to building on an angle hearth. This is gonna be fun. You're intentionally being confusing. I think I'm making this unnecessarily difficult for myself at this point in time. I think that'll be good. I think that looks good. And it comes a decent distance in. I'm concerned it has too much of an arch to it, though. Nah, that's fine. Cubes. That looks good. Looking over this too, it looks like it's straight on. I think though I'm gonna angle it for now so that I can actually build it. And then get the base blocks built and then re-angle it. Gotta love Axiom for that. So let's go ahead and drag this back out this way for now. Can I get it down to 1% and it actually still do something? Yes. Yeah, let's just do that. There we go. Now I have a straight bridge to work with, and we can rotate it afterwards. Once we know what we want it to look like. All I know is that Minecraft does not have enough actual white blocks. Oh, just do it at sorry, do it at 45 degrees basically, and then just adjust the landscape to meet the ends. That makes sense. Yeah, because when I go back here, Mike out of my way for a second. You can unlock rotation. Yeah, I know. And then I think that's the right one. Just do it like that. Nope, that was not the right one. Where are you? Ah, wanting to rotate now. That's why. Basically, just do it like that. Yeah, that works. It's easy enough to rotate it after it's made. I'm gonna change this to white, though. Gonna be a white cobbled. Might as well use white for the road and then go from there. Use some brown. Use some gray. It's not a covered bridge, so I don't have to figure that out. What I'm not sure of, and I should probably look at some bridges to get an idea of this, is if a stone bridge like this would have wooden sides, or if it'd be stone. I think it'd be stone, honestly. Google is my friend. No, it would 100% be stone, wouldn't it? Trying to remember. Kingsbridge isn't shown as having a gate. But I think, if I remember based off of the book correctly, it does. That could be a cool one to use as a reference. I'm sure I... Yeah, I like that as the reference, at least for now. So... ditch the gray. We're not using any wood. Then how long does this end up being? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20. And that's the middle point. Yeah, that's the middle point. Let me make that a little bit more obvious. That way I can just do this for now. And then open image in new tab. Want this area to be open for any boats that want to get by. But obviously aren't meant to be the final heights. One, 4. It's down 2. How much distance then do we have here? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. That's the middle point of that. Middle point of that one. Yeah. Then we can this is when slabs are going to be nice. Make that as the archway, basically. Let's just fill that in. Not the final shape. I'll have to figure out the middle one in a minute. Say that is height of the arch. That worked for basic shapes of arches. It is not a moon pie. It is a bridge. And like you and other members of our guild, I am not obsessed with moon pies. Let me extrude this out this way. Ew. Just do this. Lock. Nope. Bump that down to there. I guess, well, that's probably going to be up against land at that point. we... This is the fun part. Solid. Rotate. Rotate 45 for me, please. Rotate negative 45 for me, please. Then... See, that's the only thing, is that's way off from those two areas. I wonder if we put it... Examine this a little bit better. I do like the idea of just making an easy 45 degree and not having to play with some random angle. I guess if we move it a little bit, put it there, that's far enough away from that. Then adjust this hill and span the river there. We would definitely have to expand the river in. Actually seeing it down here. Have to change the river over on this side too. I think 4 might be too wide. So... pull this down. Oh, back to that. One, two, three, four. Actually knowing that. 3 there. At the end point. At the middle point. And I'm trying to do this by hand, which is silly because I can just do it with the Axiom. Let's do this instead. Bring that in one. Make those columns a little bit wider and the middle one just a little bit more narrow. Okay. Yeah. Move these down just a little bit more. And then use this. This will make my life easier. Go from there to there. I can just do this. Oops. I would just personally bring that down just a little bit more on these. Let's see how that looks rotated before we do everything again. Way. Say it's about there. Knowing that we're gonna have to do some terraforming and everything. I think that's a lot better in terms of overall shape, personally. Excellent. I have an idea. Send me your address and I will send you moo pies. How about that? If I can find any. Okay. And then I want to go ahead and... Oh, no. There we go. Woot. Woot. Be sufficiently wide. Okay. So last but not least, let's try that one more time. and drop you down. And adjust as needed. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Go ahead and fill this in. I'm going to... Nope. I want block now, not solid. Thank you. There we go. Basic shape. Very basic shape. Mostly because I feel like this inside... Ooh, whoa, what the heck? Why... Okay, that was weird. Yeah, okay. Feel like we need to make it like this. Ooh, the same thing over here. Yeah, I guess do the same thing on the ends too. You can do that. Do I want to do that? No, I don't. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him. There's another YouTuber, Real Civil Engineer. He does road planning and other engineering type stuff. And he does this thing on his videos. He plays like a... What's that beaver game? Timberborn. And he's mostly along the lines of like a Grace Still Plays kind of YouTuber. But he does what he calls bridge reviews. And right now I'm just going, I need a bridge review. How is this as a bridge? Obviously it's not great because it's wool. City skyline stuff, yeah. But I mean he's very much a Grace Still Plays kind of player. Let's shift our yellow over to gray. I think I'm using light gray. Nope, do the whole thing. There we go. Our wool bridge. I think that's a good shape to start, at least. Trying to decide if I'm doing this off of memory here. The road, King's Road itself, is described as a white cobble road, which we've already figured out mostly what blocks we're going to use for that. But every time it gets mentioned, it's mentioned within the context of being within the city. And my next thought of that would it be restricted to just, say, the bridge and the area between the bridge to the walls? Or would it be white cobble throughout the entire city, which would have it coming basically all the way out here? Like, it's King's Road should, in theory, end up going all the way to the shoreline. I'm thinking if it's just the bridge, that would explain the need for a gatehouse. But I don't remember a gatehouse being mentioned. Alright, to the books. To the books very quickly. I think this one will probably be the better one to reference. There's so many books in this series. Let me bookmark where I'm at right now so that I don't lose my place. And then search. No. Find in book. That's not gonna find anything. That's not a word. Gate to the castle wall, the castle gate. Gate to the yard. Followed him through the gate. Investigate. Delegate. Between the palaces. Okay, she wasn't sure how long she had been sketching between Least Gate and the city. Why does it say... It's probably supposed to say East Gate, not Least. Right. Back to searching. I feel like it should have a gatehouse on either side, personally. The Least Gate. No, there's actually a gate called the Least Gate in the city. Least. I don't know why they have a gate called the Least Gate. These are generalized gates. And now I'm where she's out of the city. Have a large gate and a small gate. So the wall itself is described as being 30 feet high. 30 feet high with a gate that is as tall as 15 men, I think is what it says. That's the size of the gate for the palace district. The wall is 30 feet high and the gate is the height of 15 men. Take that as you will. It's also supposed to be 20 men wide. Obviously, I'm not making that completely accurate because that would be ridiculous within Minecraft. And when we get to the palace area, there is a standalone building called Bowler's Needle that is... all it is a tower. And it's basically like a lookout tower. It goes 100 feet tall, and that's considered the tallest point in the palace. None of the actual castle is taller than that point. So at some point in time, I have to get a tower that is, 100 quote unquote feet tall. I'm not gonna make the gate 30 feet tall. I think that's what... Each block is a meter. So it's like 20 blocks tall. Maybe we make it 20. Maybe we do make it right. I don't know. Yeah, I guess we could do a larger gatehouse on this side. Americans will use anything but the metric system. Right? It's ridiculous. Just give me the actual measurement. Let me go back again. If I can find the passage, I'll read the passage real fast. So there is an inner gate for the castle. Oh no, that's a completely different location. That is not the main castle. That is a fief. Like a zillion miles away from the main castle. Gate. Okay. Alice Gate is not described in this book. I'm pretty certain I know which book it is described in though, so give me 1 second. I love having, I'm using the Nook app, and I just love it because I can go find in book. And find exactly what I want. Nope, that's still the wrong gate. here we go. So it's not in this one then. All it says is the gate was as high as the wall it pierced. It doesn't give me the height here. Whatever. At some point in one of these books, it says 15 men tall or something like that. When in doubt, go to the wiki. Oh, it's in the description of the palace. It's not in the description of the city. Where does it go? Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Royal Palace. Oh, and it's I also remember this. The width of it is as wide as 5 men standing abreast. I remember that part too. Don't ask me. Well, now, why can't I find... Well, it might be in this description. Palace wall. Here we go. Nope, never mind. Well, somewhere it specifies it. What I just saw, though, on the wiki, which is nice, is that when you get to the Palace District, it's separated by, quote, the city gate. Which is said to be placed within the palace wall. Never mind. I'm going to put, Hearth, I think you've got a good idea here. A larger gatehouse on this side and a smaller gatehouse on this side. And the other thing that we know from the books is, coming back to the map here, that I'm going to have to go back to the wiki for this one specifically. So Highfields and Prettybone are located north of the river. Palace is supposed to be south. We're moving it north because of our landscape. But it's Unicorn, Upmarket, and Patton, along with Highfields and Prettybone, that are, quote, the wealthy districts. So, we look at our map here. Roughly where that triangle between Highfields and Prettybone is at the northwest, that's about the approximate location of where the palace is on our version of it. We're basically swapping Market Bridge and Kingsbridge with one another. And then everything else down is the other side of our river. does make sense that since Kingsbridge feeds into the lower city and the Flash districts specifically, both of which are listed as lower income districts, that there would be less of a gate there and more of a gate on the other side. So, yeah. Hearth has a good idea. Don't know how we're gonna do it, but it's a good idea. Let's do that, please. That is, nope, yellow. I like that as the size for the other side. Just basically small little guard stations for them to sit at. Oops. Then I want to move it over so it's restricting the walkway as little as possible. No. Why are you not? Why are you not placing? What am I failing to remember how to do? I just did this. Oh, I see what the issue is. We've got a selection made. Okay. There. We make that basically the pillars of the smaller gate on that side. And then we do that as larger gate. I say gate. I don't know that this side would even actually be a gate. Oops. I'm sorry, guys. So, smaller gate on this side, quote unquote larger gate at this side. Probably even just leave those as just these little pillars here. Maybe make this a little bit taller. Make them about that tall. And then if we come back to this side, feel like that needs to be just a little bit taller. Not that much taller, though. Then we can make this like an actual gate. And bring there we go. Basically, just 2 little stations on this side, and then an actual gatehouse type area on this side. A little bit. Yeah. Maybe. The general shape. I need another reference image. A good reference image. Okay. So then from there, bring this up. One more? Yeah. And then we can do bringing it back into 7. Bring that up. Yeah, I like that. Gonna finish building out this basic shape over here real fast. Then, I think we're almost ready. Rotate it. Actually rotate it. Really? You know what? Nope. This is wrong. Faster that way. Then for this side, Now, Google is giving me nothing but Minecraft builds, which isn't what I'm looking for. For now, let's just replicate that. I'm not coming up with any good references that I like. Just a very, very basic. Really. Idea. I had a thought, I had an idea. Ah. Back to do. Oh, that's not gonna work. Never mind. So let's just keep it at that. And then solid. Now we're just gonna move this up so that we have an unaltered version. Then come back down here. Oh, it is called, it's multiple book series. The author is Tamora Pierce, and the series is any of the books from her Tortall universe. Tortall. It's young adult fantasy. Some of the earlier books trend a little bit more towards young teen to an extent, but it is a series that I have read multiple times over my life. It's one of the series that got me into reading to begin with. And, nope. The main area that we're working on right now is the capital for Tortal itself. Which is Chorus. C-O-R-U-S. Yes. Yep. I know it's a little bit more of an obscure series that people may not recognize, but it's honestly, it's one of my favorites. So let's move this back in this way a little bit. Knowing that we're going to have to terraform out this side and the other side a little bit. Let me zoom up. Ooh, let me... Dang it. I should have moved that elsewhere. Oh. Yes, you're very true. That is very accurate. Are you familiar with the series then? But I kind of want to make it there. Ah, you found the wiki, okay. The wiki is kind of my main reference right now. Okay, let's see how that looks. Again, needing to build this out this way. Mostly just curious about it from the water. That actually rotated really well. Yes, yeah, that would be my guess too. It depends though on which book you're pulling those references from. The map itself is from the Becca Cooper series, which is one of the newer series, and it takes place about 250 years before any of the other books. 300 years? I think 250, something like that. And if I remember correctly, and I could be misremembering because I haven't played a lot of attention to the Court of the Rogue, and I don't remember a lot of Becca's books itself, but I believe that the Court of the Rogue kind of moves in that time period from one district to another. Yeah, it's medieval-esque for sure. It's medieval, period. I wouldn't even call it medieval light. It is hard medieval. Probably the biggest references. My thought of it has always been that Tortall itself is the northern part of Tortall is like UK, France in terms of geography, climate, weather, yada 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 yada. But why? Go away. No. R. It is definitely medieval. I would say. I mean that's kind of what I've been referencing. Is France, England type. And I've been rereading the books because I've been trying to get better references for these builds, and she's a little light on some of her descriptions, to be honest. This out one more. Yeah, if we basically have it go this way and go that way. Let me... I appreciate it. You, I think, will be able to pull references better than I can. I'm just kind of going off of, this is how I imagine it. And this is what I think she's trying to go for. What I do know is that the palace grounds are extensive and almost enough to be their own city. The palace grounds has enough housing for all of the pages and squires, which a year of pages and squires ranges between 5 to 12 individuals. So you're looking at least 24 rooms right there. It's got separate housing for guests, or it has separate housing for the Queen's Riders, which is basically a militia unit, and a much larger amount of people than the pages and squires. It has Fowler's Needle, it has temples, it has the Chamber of the Ordeal, which is used during knighting and coronation ceremonies. Trying to think of what else it has. It's got all the training grounds, it has stables, it has all the stables for the Queen's Riders. And I believe it has housing for the King's Own, which is another semi-quasi militia group that supports the regular army. Plus all of the areas for the nobles to live, the ballrooms, the kitchens, libraries. That's why when I was looking in this map for an area that would work, I wanted an extensive hill, which is how we ended up coming over to this location. And then we know that the wall itself is only a half circle. It's no longer a completed wall. They say in one of the books that I just read, actually, that the back half of the wall, not the half by the city, but the half that would be back here, has been removed for expansions and feeds right into the royal forest. Which, I don't know if you were here when I was discussing it earlier. Just the back. Just half of it doesn't specify northern or southern. It just, it was initially a whole circle, and the back half behind the palace has been removed, basically. So it's a half circle. Yeah. I find conflicting information about whether the city itself is walled or not. I feel like sometimes it implies that it is, but a lot of times it kind of implies that it isn't. So I've been trying to figure out what I want to do with that. I also know... So we're doing Prettybone and Highfields up here. And then somewhere over here needs to be the Temple District. But I may leave the Temple District on the south side just because we're kind of restricted on room up here. And I don't know if you were listening when I was musing through that earlier. My theory was if they were willing to remove the wall back here that's up against the royal forest, it had to have been because this area back here had at least a partial cliffside. Otherwise, I think they would have expanded out front and towards the city itself. That's my theory on that one. I'm gonna just do a quick little bit of elevation. Make that just a little bit lower. I'm gonna have to go here in a minute, unfortunately. Oops. Let's use the right thing for that. Okay. So if we bring that in, that opens that up a little bit better, and then do the same on this side. So then I can come here and you can lower that there. Lower that there. Remove some of these weird blocks. So, seeing how that's laying, this arch probably wouldn't even be here, huh? So, we can just leave that built in. And then maybe elevation. Do this manually. I know there's a way to do it with Axiom, but I don't know off the top of my head what it is. We clear this back a little bit. Flatten. Two. Mhm. That's a good question. Yeah. I want to say somewhere between like maybe 10th and 12th, but I could be wrong. She doesn't really give any. Well, no. We do kind of have some sort of similar references. Let me think. Make that just a little side port kind of area, like a canoe, a tiny boat. I mean, my first instinct is to say 10th to like 12th. We've got they have chainmail, they have plate. There's a lot of reference to jousting tournaments, so they heavily rely upon lances for some combat. There, in one book, there is a ocean siege that basically has trebuchet-like equipment, if that helps at all. In that regard, she's been pretty vague, in my opinion. That's fine. I think I want to pull this back just a little bit further. Maybe bring this down just a little bit. There, that way, so we've got this main arch for normal boats to get through. Got a smaller one for just like little side ships to boats to get through along this area. Yeah, I would say that there's probably a lot of nobility in that area. There's definitely a lot of references to specific manners and the nobles being able to rent and or lease townhouses in the city for when they were visiting, basically. I think that rounds that out a little bit better. Okay. Actually, no. Let's leave that as 1 tall. I think that's better. Alright. I'm gonna have to go, unfortunately. But Tuesday we will maybe have a stream. I have a doctor's appointment in the morning, so stream will be dependent upon whether or not it ends soon enough for me to get back home. If we do have a stream on Tuesday, we'll be back in creative and continue working on this. If we don't, we'll be back next Saturday. Got a lot done here. And I'm having fun. Thanks for your help, Earth. See you guys next week. Bye.